Hey, this is K-Rail, Chief Fitness Advisor for Pine Pollen Superfoods and Train for Longevity. Today I'm going to expand a little bit more on what is now known as the OMAD, or OMAD Diet, which stands for 1 meal a day. So I recently did an interview and podcast with my good friend Zach Blaine, and we went deep into the weeds about his goal of following the OMAD for an entire year. So why would you want to do the OMAD Diet as a person? So I'm going to give you a little bit of quick tips about it, the benefits of it, and what precautions to take as well. So 1 meal a day, that might strike you as, oh my gosh, that's crazy, I'll never survive on 1 meal a day. Well, I always try to encourage people to start out fasting for shorter periods of time every single day of the week. So if you've never fasted in your life, it's always best to start out with, like, say 12 hours of fasting and then slowly increase it to 13, to 14, to 15, to 16, and you get the picture. And then once a week, I would do a longer fast than you're doing. So say you get into a groove and you do like 16 hours of fasting. Once a week, aim for 20 hours and do that for like literally 4 weeks. And then move it up to 24 hours and literally do that for like 4 weeks. Then do that twice a week. Then do that 3 times a week. Then do that 4 times a week. So you see where I'm getting at here? Much like lifting weights and exercising, you kind of build your way up to a longer fasting protocol, which OMAD, that's the way to do it. That's the easiest, best way to do it. Slow and progressive. It's just like you don't want to lose a ton of weight at once because it's really hard to maintain that weight loss. So you want to lose weight slowly. You want to gain muscle slowly. You want to gain strength slowly. So think of OMAD as the same type of way. So as far as a workbook is concerned, that's how I would write it. And I would tell you, slowly work your way into OMAD. It's really hard to just like quit smoking 10 packs of cigarettes a day. You have to kind of wean your way out. Well, think of that same kind of modality when it comes to OMAD. Now, benefits. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people are intimidated by the fact of refraining from eating for any extended period of time because they think they're going to crash. They think they're going to pass out. They think they're going to die. They think they're going to starve. None of that is true. It's absolutely completely opposite. When you refrain from eating for an extended period of time, fasting, your hormones come back into balance. So your hunger stimulating hormone is called ghrelin. Ghrelin is spiked and you're starving and your stomach starts growling. But if you were to hold off and not eat for, say, a half hour, ghrelin would start coming down and leptin would start to rise, which is your hunger suppressing hormone, and eventually those two hormones would get into balance. So the more you practice fasting and the longer you fast, the faster that reaction is going to occur. So for example, I've been doing time restricted eating and longer fast for a long period of time. So after I work out in the morning, I might have a spike of hunger about an hour afterward, but it stays elevated for literally 5 minutes or less. My hunger's gone. And once my hunger disappears, my hunger's gone. It stays gone. And when I do longer fasts, 48-hour fasts, I'd say about the 20-hour mark is when my hunger is just like absolutely flatlined. And the rest of the fast, I just sail right through it. I have minor spikes of hunger after that, but nothing major because my hormones are back in balance. So actually, hunger suppression is one of the things that will happen after you get used to fasting for a long period of time. And it brings your ghrelin and leptin back to balance, which is a very key factor of weight maintenance going forward. So it's going to help you maintain your weight. It's going to help with weight loss. When you start to, all this talk about not eating causes your body to go into starvation mode, that's all nonsense. It's not true. Eating 6 meals a day does not accelerate your metabolism whatsoever. That has not been proven. That is a bunch of bunk. Actually, in stark contrast, if you do a series of longer fasts and then you start the refeeding process, your metabolism goes through the roof and it spikes. And I actually have put myself through experiments where I've done resting metabolic tests at 16 hours fasted, 24 hours fasted, 48 hours fasted. And guess where my metabolism was the highest at? Speaking my good ear. 48 hours. 48 hours is when my metabolism was the highest. 16 hours it was the lowest, 24 it was in the center. So that just goes to show, it just debunks that whole theory where you have to eat all the time to boost your metabolism. It's not true. When you're sitting still, like I am right now, my body's primarily burning fat for energy. The more intense your exercise goes, the more your body's going to rely on stored glycogen, which is carbohydrate, which gets stored in your muscles and liver. So when you're fasting and you're active, and if you work out in a fasted state, you're going to boost your metabolism, you're going to boost your HGH levels, which is very quintessential for building and maintaining lean muscle mass, which is another benefit of OMAD. And your brain function is going to go through the roof as well when you follow OMAD, because when you eat, you're spiking your blood sugar. So if you have anything that contains protein and carbohydrates, your blood sugar is going to rise, your insulin's going to rise, then your blood sugar is going to drop, insulin's going to drop. So the whole theory behind the 6 meals a day is if you keep eating every 2.5 hours, sorry, it's warm in my apartment, you're going to keep your metabolism elevated, you're going to keep your brain function high, and you're going to keep your blood sugar balanced. But the secret is not as obvious as it seems. So when you eat a meal and your blood sugar rises a little bit, even if it's a balance of protein and carbohydrates, your insulin's going to rise. And then once it starts to lower down and come back to baseline, 2.5 hours later, you decide to eat again, your insulin's going to follow your blood sugar. Then all of a sudden, blood sugar pops back up, insulin goes right back up again. So all day long, your insulin level is kind of going like this. It's like a buoy in an ocean, just doing this. So your pancreas, you're asking your pancreas to release insulin from 6 a.m. until probably 10 o'clock at night. So none of that stuff happens when you do the OMAD. What happens is your blood sugar comes down and it stays down, and insulin stays level. With that being the case, your energy levels stay level too. So they're not going to spike, they're not going to fall, they're not going to spike, they're not going to fall. You're not going to ask your pancreas to release insulin all day long. So that, in the big picture, the OMAD diet can theoretically help prevent the onset of diabetes and prediabetes because your pancreas is not relying on pumping out tons and tons of insulin all day long. So that's another benefit of OMAD. Brain function, brain clarity, and energy all rolled into one. Again, your energy levels are driven by your hormones. So if blood sugar is constantly going up and down, your energy is constantly going up and down. If you decide to forego eating all day long, you eat at 5 o'clock in the afternoon once a day, every single day, and you gap it by 24 hours every single day, all your levels are going to come into balance, and your brain function is actually going to go up. It's not going to go down. There's not going to be any drop. There's not going to be any low spots. And again, this takes time to adapt to. So all of those benefits are super, super right there, right in front of you for OMAD, for 1 meal a day. And you wouldn't even think about this until you get deeper into the research and the science. And believe you me, I've done it and I've practiced it. I know it like the back of my hand. Now, the dangers of OMAD. I have to give you a little asterisk. I don't really think there's anything that's going to be super, super dangerous about the OMAD diet. Although your body does need a certain amount of should get a certain amount of fiber. I'm a big fan of high fiber diet and getting it from a number of different sources, and getting probiotic and prebiotic foods in your diet as well to build up the gut biome, the microbiome as it's often called. Probiotics actually reside in your stomach, and when you eat prebiotics, it feeds the probiotics, and when you take probiotics, it helps enhance the existing probiotics in your gut. So, when you fast for 24 hours, your gut eludes a ton of stem cells. It's been proven on rodents, which in turn helps improve your gut health and your gut flora, the good bacteria in your stomach. 24-hour fast. All it has to be done is like twice a week. Now, if you do that every single day, just think about it. Add this up. If you do a 24-hour fast every day and you're vigilant with an OMAD, you're getting the stem cell dump over and over again in your gut. So you're really going to be able to rebuild your gut health if you have gut problems. So for those of you that have gut problems, I would highly suggest you maybe look down the road of the OMAD because it's very beneficial. Now, there's only so much food you can eat in one meal. Yeah, you can have a gelatinous amount of food in a meal and feel full and be good. And if you improve your gut health, you're going to digest that food and it's going to help your body function properly, and all the nutrients are going to be dispersed where they need to go. The only problem that can possibly happen with OMAD is if you restrict too much on your diet and you're not getting the correct amount of nutrients that you need. So I do suggest you look into good clean supplements and good clean multivitamins, etc. that you might have deficiencies in, especially if you're in a strict diet like a keto or paleo, or like I'm vegan, for example, so I do a good supplement that helps with all those deficiencies that I could possibly encounter down the road. But the body is an amazing organism. It can adapt to many stresses, and the OMAD is definitely one of those, and you can excel at it, and you can become, lean and muscle-bound. Another thing is if you work out in a fasted state while doing OMAD, I suggest first thing in the morning after about 10 to 12 hours, over time your body will become fat adapted. So your body's primarily going to be burning fat for energy 24 hours a day around the clock. So just think of the ramifications of that. Lean muscle mass. You're going to feel good, you're going to have high energy levels, you're going to look good, you're going to have confidence. So there's so many benefits, it's not even funny. So that right there is the long answer to OMAD and what you need to know about it and kind of how to do it and what benefits it can bring to you. So if you have any more questions or comments, my name is Kay Roy. I'm the Chief Fitness Advisor for Pine Pond Superfoods and Train for Longevity. Always give me a shout and we'll talk smack. Till next time, make sure to like and share our videos and please subscribe to our page. Have a great day.